Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome to Tackling a New Kingdom. I am your host, T.A.N.K Johnson. And today we have a legendary first ballot Hall of Fame caliber show. We have the man, the myth, the legend that is my brother T. Suggs, a.k.a. T-Sizz, Terrell Suggs. How we doing, brother T?
What's good, bro? What's happening?
Oh, man, I'm glad to catch up with you on the show. It's great to have you on here. We got some important stuff to talk about. On this show, we tackle things in three buckets. We tackle something current, we're going to tackle something real, and then we're going to tackle something controversial and get you out the door on something light. And our first topic today on Tackling a New Kingdom, we got to talk about Lamar Jackson's contract. You are a legendary Baltimore Raven. What do you think about the strategy that he has taken on trying to get his new deal accomplished and without an agent? What is your take on that?
I think it's good. I think it's really good. I mean, you know what you want out of a contract. Basically, agents, average agents, they just lawyers, you know what I mean?
Right.
And read the fine print and they try to get the best deal for you so they can get the best deal for them. So, I like it that he's doing it all himself. He ain't got to pay nobody 3%. You wouldn't want to pay nobody 3% or $250 million or $300, whatever he's gonna get. You know what I mean? That'd be an insane contract for an agent. You know what I mean? So I think really, you know what I mean? And he knows what he wants and he knows what he's capable of. He can't nobody tell him how to do him, So I think that's a good thing. And it's unfortunate they didn't come to a deal. You know what I mean? But, Baltimore is pretty good of taking care of their own. He's the only, league MVP in the franchise history. Ray's won. Myself, Ray, and Ed won defensive player. Jamal Lewis won offensive player, but none of us have been the league MVP. So,
right.
And so pay the man, give him his money, pay that man his money.
I mean, if the deal, so the deal didn't get done, right? We've seen that the deal didn't get done. Would withholding his services be a plan of attack at this point? Because if he says, hey, I'm not going out there, I'm not risking my body, would you be in favor of something like that? I mean, like you said, he could do him, but that's a actual option he has, right?
Not if you're under contract. If he's currently under contract, that's not an option. Of course he could do it because they'll just find him every game, but he'll make that back up with his contract. That's kind of why we held out. When you hold out, when you're doing contract disputes, that's when you held out of training camp. You know what I mean? You pretty much, whatever you lost, put it in a bonus for me. You know what I mean? Right. So, but, for people that don't understand what it is we do, they're kind of frowned upon him and, he'll kind of lose his favor with the people and it'll look, look like he's not being a team player. You know what I mean? But that's why it's important that both sides come to an agreement. And Baltimore it's like, Haloti Nada, he said something. He was like, the longer it takes, the more it's going to cost. So, you know what I mean? They better do something fast. You can tell he want to be the highest quarterback in the league and ever, and, bonuses and all of that. And contract incentives. I don't know if he's putting all of that in there, but it's usually it really don't matter. Like the number it is, what the number he's gonna get around $250 million. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's going. So if Baltimore trying to lowball him and get him 235, that's not gonna work. You know what I mean? Because if whoever, somebody's gonna pay him that money. You know what I mean?
That's real. I mean, I just think that I think that Deshaun Watson fully guaranteed
Yeah.
contract just threw a monkey wrench in the game.
Well, monkey wrench in the whole game. And I think they won the same amount of playoff games. You know what I mean? But Deshaun Watson ain't got no league MVP. So
you got to give me more than that. I mean, I could just see Lamar when that came across the ticker, like, oh man.
All right. I'm surprised he wasn't that Deshaun Watson signing with him. Like, yo, man, we did it, baby. We did it.
We did it.
Man, we did it, baby.
No, that's crazy. No, but I mean, you know what? Whatever he decides, we wish him the best to be compensated in the highest level of whatever he can get. And that's what we want for him. So that is tackling something current. So now we're going to switch to tackling something real. If my memory serves me correctly, brother T, on my recruiting trip to the University of Washington in December of 1999, there was supposed to be 3 highly touted Arizona products headed from Phoenix Sky Harbor up to SeaTac. Myself, the late, great Marquise Cooper. Could you tell me why we had an empty seat that we ultimately put our bags and chips on that seat? Who was supposed to be in that seat?
That was supposed to be me. Rick Neuheisel on your podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they canceled my trip.
Who canceled it?
Rick Neuheisel. They did.
No, that's not what he said.
They canceled my trip. He'll tell you. Because remember, he was our quarterbacks coach at Baltimore for I want to say either a year or 2 years. And I was like, Coach, what happened? And you know who else was supposed to be there? I want to say what was his name? Sammy Moore from
Sammy
Westwood.
Moore? Yeah.
He was supposed to go too. Like all of us were supposed to go. Me, you, Keith, and Sammy Moore. We were all on the same trip. And they canceled mine because he said, Sis, I'm going to be totally honest with you, I didn't think you were going to pass your test. He was like, it's one of the biggest recruiting mistakes I made. But he canceled my trip.
Man, that I absolutely love the breaking news on that, because the rumors floating around the hood was that now the NILs is a part of the thing, that ASU gave you a Honda Accord and a trip to Cabo that you wouldn't get on get on that flight. So I mean, that's been floating around for 20 years.
I wish. I wish. I wish. I was scared. I was too scared to take anything. I didn't want to forfeit my eligibility and all of that. Like, and ASU never offered me anything. I'm not gonna speak for Tucson. You know what I mean? Like the players, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like Gilbert and Marinas, they was down there living it up. And when I went on my trip,
yeah, they was.
But ASU didn't offer me anything. They was like, hey man, the only thing we can offer you is your number, and they didn't even give me that when I showed up to ASU. I had 48, so and they gave it on 42. And I'm still a little pissed about that. But yeah, man, Rick Neuheisel, they canceled my trip. We was all supposed to go.
Man, I just remember we're on the plane and me and Marquise are like, they're about to close the gates, man. Where's I didn't know Sammy was coming. I knew you were supposed to come because truthfully, when McClintock, my school, played against Sammy, I had a really good game. And they didn't think Sammy was going to make the clearinghouse. And so they were like, give the scholarship to Terry. So I didn't know that Sammy was in that picture, but I do know that, wow, that's breaking news. Rick said that they canceled your trip, huh?
Yeah. That could be what happened to Sammy as well. Cause I'm not, it was 20 years ago. So I'm not sure if Sammy did make it or he did time in junior college. He evidently ended up at Washington State. Right. But yeah, Sammy, I think they probably canceled his trip too. Yeah. Man. So yeah, they're not gonna pass their test. So we're not even gonna waste our time.
I always ask, my guesses, because especially I'm always having great talented people who in their time I think you were like the Gatorade National Player of the Year in our class. I mean, what do you think? What do you think would like you would have garnered in this name, image, and likeness deal with?
God, we were just talking about this like a couple of days ago, me and my cousin. And he was like, "Sis, you probably could have got something crazy." I was like,
Crazy.
"Never know. We would never know." But hey, man, I'm happy for these young guys, young kids, getting their money early, because not everybody gets the chance to go on to have success in the NFL. So it's good for them to cash in now. You know what I mean? It's good. I wish we'd had it when we were playing, but hey, what can you do?
I mean, I feel like it made, I mean, I truly feel like it made like long-term dogs out of all of us, right? Like, I don't know what it would have been like if I could have kind of eased up and been like, oh, I got my money, I got my money right now. So I don't know. I don't think it makes, I think it's making puppies long-term of these kids, man.
Right. Like I said, from the player side of it, like I said, I the young kids to kind of get what they owe, because these colleges and these coaches are making millions of dollars off these college kids, and the universities, stadiums packed, merchandise, TV deal, and the kids getting, we was getting what, loot checks, you know
Right.
what I mean, $100 a month, you know what I mean, whatever.
Right.
And so it's good for them to kind of on that aspect of it, but I think it also kind of takes away like the purity of the college football. It was like you said, we were all getting the same. So
Yeah.
it wasn't, oh, he getting his NIL. It was like, no, we always out there on that grind. You know what I mean? And I think the best college players really they took advantage of their time in college. Like, they wasn't really looking to try to like, oh, this is only a stepping stone for me to go to the league. Like, if you
Right.
look at great college players like the Reggie Bushes and the Michael Vicks, Peter Ward, like they dominated college in like years. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like, oh, this dude's gonna be a great pro player. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not having, like stuff like the NIA deal, like it didn't take like when because we didn't have that. I think it made us better players in that area.
Yeah, no, and I think that's for sure true, and I think that like, and I hate to sound like old man, but I feel like the one and done in college basketball has just killed that product, right? Because if you
Yeah.
remember when me and you were coming up, when like the March Madness tournament came up, the teams were stacked with juniors and seniors.
Yeah.
Right. And we was like, man, I'm going with this squad. I mean, it was
Yeah.
the squad. I mean, do you think that it's changed the product?
Definitely. Like nobody like goes to play college basketball no more. They like jump straight into the G League, or they'll go play like overseas somewhere. Like, nobody really wants to go play college basketball anymore if you look at it. You know what I mean? And it kind of, and like, even the number one basketball college, the high school basketball player, like he knows it's like, oh, I'm doing one and I'm out of here.
I'm out.
And it's like we don't really get to see those good, college teams like the Kentuckys in the 90s, the Fab Five, and Larry Johnson and UNLV in the 90s. You know what I mean? You don't get to see those teams and those battles in the rivalry. Like the Big East ain't really the Big East anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Not at
I
all,
think,
bro.
it's because like the one and dones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Well, good, man. That was tackling something real. I want to tackle something controversial. I don't think our audience understands how parallel our young lives ran together. We both were born in the greater Chicago area of the
Mm-hmm.
country, me being in Gary, you about 25 minutes northwest in Chicago. We
Mm-hmm.
both moved to Minnesota, and we both have strong family ties in the Twin Cities, and
Mm-hmm.
ultimately landed in Phoenix, you in Chandler, and myself in Tempe, and played on a couple of AAU teams together. So my controversial topic is this. When we were on the AAU team, I had my famous under the arm alley-oop to myself dunk. That was my signature move. Now, I could not dunk in the game just yet, but I was a practice warrior. But one day, I saw my man T. Suggs pull out what I thought was my signature dunk in the game. Let's settle it right here on Tackling a New Kingdom. Whose signature dunk was the alley-oop to himself?
Okay, I'll say it was yours. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Remember, Nick used to do the one behind his back to himself dunk.
Yeah.
So I don't know if between you and him who had it first, but I'll give it to you. I say I saw you did it in front and be like, oh, that's a good way to get up there, and get the ball in the bucket and dunk it.
Hey,
so,
just throw it up there to yourself.
Throw it up there to yourself and just go and get it. So yeah. What was we at? We was in Vegas when I did it?
Yes. Well, I'm glad you're a good friend, man, because I was gonna have to either go get Coach Glenn, JC on the
No, I see Glenn like every weekend. Like, he's in charge of all the referees, and I be hooping out here, and he be reffing these leagues I be in. I see Glenn like all the time.
Man, like that's like a famous T. Suggs legend. Like, you're one of the only people who played. Terrell Owens did this too, but you played hoop to stay in shape your whole career. How did you manage that? And how many chips did y'all boys win quietly in the offseason, dog?
We currently at number 8. You know what I'm saying? We just
8
won
chips.
8 national championships. Yep. We just won it back in August in New York City. Shout out to the antagonist Team Sizzle bar. And yeah, man, like it was like I just stayed active. You don't want to stop moving, and people don't understand just how intense Ray Lewis was. And you know what I mean? Like, we play a physical style of football. We did at Baltimore. And so naturally you go through a playoff run, like you're done. Like NFL season, your body's done. You know what I mean? A person will never understand what we go through. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like you get it happened every year as long as we were teammates. Sometimes it'll be, I don't know, a month and a half after the season ended. And sometimes it'll be like, say we didn't go in the playoffs, it'll be 2 weeks after the season ended. Ray Lewis called, "What's up, Sizzle? What you doing? You working out? You watching film?" He want to go over the last game, and the Super Bowl ain't even been played yet.
He on you like that.
People don't get it. People don't get it. Like Ray Lewis, like you getting that call. Hey, what's up, Sizzle? You working out? You staying in shape? All right, now we got something. We doing something next year. You know what I mean? We going on this run now. I need you in shape. I need you good. All right, look. And I was just like, man, let me go do something. So, basketball is easy. Besides swimming and boxing, basketball is like the best cardio. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like, all right, I feel terrible, but I can go hoop. You know what I mean? So that's like a lot of times how I kind of like stayed in shape and got in shape early was playing hoop.
Oh man, that's some legendary stuff, man. I tried to hoop while I played. It was just too hard to play full out without kind of being afraid to do those moves.
Yeah, and it's like, when you get older, you know what I mean, your body don't do what you tell it to no more. You know what I mean? When we was young, anything we tell our body to do, we do, and we don't do it on no sleep. We get 2 hours of sleep, boom, we going to the gym in the morning. You know what I mean? And like it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But Marcus Spears said something to me that I'll never forget. And I'm older than Marcus Spears, not in age, but in years in the league.
Right.
And he,
Because you're younger than me.
yeah, I'm younger than you. I'm 39. Marcus Spears was like, Sizzle, your body don't feel like my body. You know what I'm saying? Because I was on the outside. Like, yeah, we were still getting it in. It was still roughing, but that trench work, man, ain't nothing like it.
It's
Ain't
real.
nothing like it. In between them tackles, them guards, that trench work, and like as you get older, your body just don't recover how it used to, and it's harder to get in shape. Like your body just not recovering. You go to work out, you go run, and you're like, all right, I'm tired, I'm sore, but I can get up and do it tomorrow. You know, as you get older in years in the league, like that recovery just ain't there, no matter what you do.
No matter what
You know what
you
I'm saying?
do.
It's time is undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So like I get it. Like I know exactly what you're saying. Like you was like it was just hard to like go out there and like fully compete, you know, enough to like really get your body in shape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I still play with a guy, he's born 1968. So
Damn.
I don't know, he's well in his 50s. But he still goes out there and scores like 40 and 50 points on 20-year-olds.
Gets buckets.
And I asked him like, I want to say it was probably about like 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, dude, like how have you able to still be able to play this? Like he's out there playing with young dudes, you know what I'm saying? And like will score at will, shoot lights out. I was like, how are you still able to do it? He was like, Sizzle, I never stopped playing. I just never stopped playing. I diet, I watch what I eat, and I play every day. And that like inspired me. So like people be like, Sizzle, damn, how'd you lose so much weight? I'll be like, well, I gave up meat and I just play basketball every day. Like pretty much.
That's
I
it.
just hoop.
Man,
You know?
that's dope, man. Well, man, I mean, it's crazy. I thought I was gonna get some pushback on the alley-oop to myself dunk.
That's your
He said, and then I swear, you know, the mystery of why you didn't make that flight, you killed it in like 3 words. Oh, Rick, cancel my trip. And I like the legendary stories. I like the Honda Accord trip to Cabo, hid you out down off baseline. You know, I like them stories better because it sounds so simple.
I heard that one, but it's all fun. You know what I mean? It's all in good fun. But ASU does have their special way of getting athletes to commit to ASU.
So I've heard.
Huh?
So I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, you go on your trip to ASU and it's like, where do I sign? You know what I mean? It's everything you're looking for in a college experience. You know what I'm saying? But we're not there football wise traditionally. Like, you know, you want multiple, not, you know, only Pac-10, Pac-12 now championships, but you want a couple national championships. You want the success the SCs has had, you know what I mean, and the UCLAs. So, you know what I mean, once we get there, I think we'll be well rounded. But we got the party and the showing players a good time down. We got that down.
Got that on lock, huh?
Oh, we national champs, so we in the national championship every game, every year.
I will not refute that. All right. Well, we will get you out of here on something light. One of your many passions is making films. You've got film credits already under your belt. Can you tell me, like, when did you fall in love with the idea of like making your own like film projects?
When did I fall in love? I'll probably say as a kid, man. You know, when you playing with your toys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you don't realize it, but you subconsciously directing your own film with your imagination when you're playing with toys, and you know what I mean? It probably started there. And then, you know, the number one thing my father used to do with me and my brothers on Friday night, we had Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. So naturally, Friday's payday, Dad, we're going to the movie store. We're going to get like 5, 6 videos and watch them all weekend. So my love for movies probably started in my adolescent years, just being a little kid, man, playing with toys and watching movies with my brothers.
Man, I've watched you grow in that space, and I just wanted to tell you that I've just been one, so impressed just with your imagination, with being able to bring those films to life. Can you tell us, if the audience, what is your favorite film that you've been able to be a part of so far?
My favorite film, okay, like writing, I did a short. It was called When Beautiful People Do Ugly Things, and it made it into the Cannes Film Festival over in, France. And, that's like the biggest film festival. And it was the first thing I ever really put pen to paper, me and my partner, Monica Miko, she was my writing partner. And the first thing I ever wrote, like, made it into Cannes. We wrote it and we shot it in, I want to say, like 4 weeks. And it made it in the Cannes Film Festival. And, like, that was flattering. You know what I mean? And I would say the biggest thing that I'm proud of, like, on screen, was definitely HBO Ballers. Like, I got to meet The Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got to meet The Rock, and it was very fortunate time because I was just in the writing room with him, kind of helping him with ideas with the show. And then I got hurt in 2015. I was out for a year, popped an Achilles opening week. And then the writer, Evan, he was like, "Sis, well, since you hurt, want to come act? We can write you in." And I was like, hell yeah. Like, I was kind of like depressed. When you get injured, you like, I don't want to talk to nobody. You know what I mean? So he was like, "Hey, we understand you out for the season. Come shoot with The Rock, with Dwayne." And I was like, absolutely. And so I got to act with The Rock, and you think, he's the biggest star in the world, at this point, the biggest movie star in the world. And, like, you get on set, and he's basically a football player. He acts just like us. You know what I mean? Practice. And he played at the U, but you just don't know. Because with all this Hollywood success, you like, oh, is he gonna big league me? Like, like, no. Like, sometimes we had like 15 and 18-hour like days on set.
Wow.
The Rock, DJ, he was on set the whole time, like, chilled with everybody. Just sat there and like talked and messed up with his lines, and he's very easy to work with. Like The Rock, like, man, I can't sing his praises high enough. You know what I mean? Because he was so like we all grew up on The Rock. Can you smell? You know what I'm saying? So it was like the first time I'm meeting him, I'm like jittery. I'm like, I don't know what to say. Da da da. He saw me first. Came up like, "Sizzle. Da da da. Man, I'm glad you could do this." I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm here with you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting goosebumps, like, thinking about like our first interaction. And he was just like such a real cool dude. And I was like, "So what do you go by? Is it The Rock?" He was like, "Man, call me what you want. You call me The Rock, you call me Dwayne, call me DJ. I go by all of that." I was like, cool. You know what I mean? Of course, it's one of my childhood idols, so it's The Rock. You know what I mean? So it's like, but like, Ballers was real dope. And these are the same guys that made Entourage. So they stacked the set with beautiful women. So it's not a bad gig at all. You get to be the biggest star in the world, you get to hang out with beautiful women, and you get paid for it. You know what I mean?
That'll help you get over a little Achilles depression,
That will
right?
help get over a torn Achilles, absolutely. and it was just like, they just kept coming. They was like, "Hey, man, can you shoot? I'm like, yeah. They just kept calling me back. Like, if you look at season 2, I'm like all up and down season 2 of Ballers. And they shooting on location. They were shooting in Miami. So who wouldn't want to go to Miami in December? You know what I mean? Who wouldn't go to Miami in December? Something like, "Sizzle, we can write you in. You want to come shoot?" Yep. When they need me to be there. You know what I mean? I was on like the next flight out. You know what I'm saying? It was that was a very, humbling experience. It was really dope, and I'm like really glad I got the opportunity. And it came out of it started like out of an unfortunate event. Me tearing my Achilles opening day, but it ended up working out, man. So, and I got to learn like the big productions on how to, shoot big TV show.
Big budget TV show. No, it's, I always think it's great when, you take a Hall of Fame career and then you transition into these films and you have this passion that rivals your passion to play football. I always look at that. I mean, people are going to know you as a famous movie director, years down the line, and people aren't even going to know that you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I just think the world of that, man. What do you think about that?
I mean, God willing, I try not to think about it too much because, for one reason or another, T.O. got snubbed. He made it I think on his third chance.
You're not in that category. Stop it.
I don't even want to think about it. Prime, Deion Sanders, he told me the way, some guys they fly them out and sit them in a hotel, and if they don't get picked, they never get the knock on the door. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, he was like, that's why he was like, if I'm gonna make it, you gotta come to my house. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm pretty much going, and whenever I'm eligible to go in or get inducted in, I'm like, they're gonna have to come to Phoenix because they're not finna do me like that either. I'm not gonna fly to Canton and be sitting up in some hotel room and not get my knock.
Oh.
I think, I'm not sure if that happened to T.O., but we know he was, for one reason or another, T.O. wasn't first ballot, and he should have been. You know what I mean? And so I never talk about it. People talk about it all the time. I kind of shy away from it. I'm like, look, man, my daughter's 14 years old, just started high school 2 days ago, and she's 6'1". You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
man.
I'm like, my biggest thing right now is being an AAU dad. I'm just dad right now. It's the happiest thing I get to do, be dad.
Well, that's amazing. Well, T, you came, you saw, and you tackled, and we appreciate you so much for being a guest on Tackling a New Kingdom, brother.
Hey, man, this was fun. Hey, brother, I love you. People don't know we've known each other since we was 12 and 13. Man. Grew up together, played high school ball against each other and all of that. This was fun. You definitely got to get Neuheiser on, and we could talk about what happened on because I asked him. Y'all went on and won the Rose Bowl that year too, and I was kind of pissed. You and Marquise at the Rose Bowl, I'm 6 and 6 going to the Holiday Bowl with the. Oh, okay. My trip, you know what I mean? But that was a big year. So I asked Neuheiser when he was at the Ravens. I was like, "What's up, man? Why y'all cancel my trip?" He was like, "Sid, be totally honest with you. We didn't think you were gonna pass your test."
Rick's an honest dude. He's honest.
I was like, that's fair, because I passed the last opportunity I had for the year is when I passed. So it was a fair assumption.
Well, you and me both. I had a 2.23 and I got an 860 on my fourth time taking it. But we did it.
We did it. And I had that 2.5. My coach was like, "Look, man, this is all you need to get your 2.5, and then you get this 18, get this 880." And I got it on the very last one. So there we go. Rest is history, brother.
Rest is history. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show, brother. We love you.
No problem. Anytime, bro.
Thank you for watching Believe. You can find more great content at Believe.com. That's BLEAV.com. Do you believe?